Hello everyone and welcome to Sacred Cards. Today I'm coming at you with an update to my Earth Machine deck profile for July 2024. As most of you know, this is one of my favorite decks. It incorporates both the Machina, Infinitrack, and train cards into one seamless archetype that can provide an infinite loop of resources, consistency, while being able to put up some really powerful machines to run over your opponent. I'll leave a link for the combo video I did recently explaining the basic goal of the deck and what it wants to do, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. Amongst the Earth Machine community, I can see there are a healthy balance of decks that use this strategy differently with a lot of the same cards involved. I've actually profiled most of them at this point. There's the gear frame, there's the metal cruncher build, there's people that play a little more heavier on the train side or more Infinitrack. So there's a lot that you can do with a lot of the end result being the same. So I'm just going to go through my list here. Really excited to share this list with you because originally the Earth Machine strategy started with a small Machina package like we have now and 3 copies of Metal Cruncher as one of the deck's 4 main starters. This card lets you randomly pick 1 out of 3 Earth Machine cards we choose from the deck while being able to reveal 3 copies of Infinitrack Brutal Dozer and ensure we get that main combo piece to our hand. Beauty is that if we already have access to Dozer early, we can search any other machines that might be useful, and its high level is also useful for summoning your copy of Fortress. Now, before I finish going through the deck's main starters, I just want to say that I approve of every method of playing this deck. The gear frame, Unclassed Spar, Giganex is a fantastic route to play that does a great job thinning out the deck and may be arguably more competitive than the build I'm about to show you. I've used it for a long time, as you can tell by previous deck profiles. The Vernisylph cards are also really good. Last time I messed around with this deck, I had fun making and profiling a going second OTK build. But honestly, I want to go back to a deck that played a bit more linear, and in my opinion, in the sense that you're dropping 4 cards out of the main deck and adding back 3 plus an extra 1 or 2 copies of Dozer. I'm playing more of the cards I want to see to hopefully draw into them rather than search them. The deck searches itself inherently very well, but I would rather search out other extenders instead of the main combo pieces. The deck thrives as long as you are a good pilot. Any way you choose to play the deck can be viable, but do comment and let me know what you guys all think. Following that up, we have 3 copies of Machina Redeployment, which you already know is great for accessing our Machina engine. The discard cost can also be very beneficial for those monsters we want to get can be very beneficial for all those monsters that we want to get in our graveyard, like Citadel, Ruin Force, or Fortress. And we can search our trap card Overdrive as well. And next, as you would expect, we have our 3 copies of Infinitrack Harvester. This card acts as our other main normal summon while we play an Earth Machine that can search in any Infinitrack from our deck on summon, while also having the ability to combine itself with the level of another monster on your field and make them both the same, which is fantastic for your Xyz plays. This plus another level 10 we play can make Zeus naturally in this deck if you like. Many surprises with Earth Machine. I absolutely love it. This deck seems like it can just do about anything. Next, we have our 3 copies of Heavy Forward. Another way to see our Infinitrack lineup, being able to search upon activation. Its continuous spell effect also lets us change the battle position of an Xyz monster, which is nice because they can revive themselves from grave and defense position. Alternatively, you can attach it to this card, or you can attach this card to it as material. And next, moving on to one of the best cards of the deck, 3 copies of Infinitrack Brutal Dozer. You contribute an Earth Machine, special summon this card, then special summon another Infinitrack from deck in defense position. This does lock you into Earth Machine monsters, but it does give you easy access to cards like River Stormer, which can search your entire deck, maximizing on 3 copies to search off Metal Cruncher and increase engine consistency. Next are 2 extenders in 1 copy of Infinitrack Trencher and 1 copy of Infinitrack Road Roller. Trencher can tribute an Earth Machine to special summon itself, but the main effect is banishing itself from the graveyard, special summoning another Earth Machine from grave. Road Roller can be special summoned from the hand or graveyard if an Earth Machine monster is tributed or banished. Plus, when used for an XC summon, you can change all monsters your opponent controls to defense position, and they all lose 1,000 defense. Now, rounding out the Infinitrack engine is 1 copy of Tunneler and 1 copy of Anchor Drill. Tunneler can also special summon itself from the hand by tributing an Earth Machine monster. By banishing this card from the graveyard, you can target 5 machine monsters in the grave, shuffle them back into the deck, and draw 2 cards. Anchor Drill is usually your follow-up normal summon, and on summon, you can special summon another Earth Machine from your hand. It also has a level manipulation effect similar to Harvester. Similar to Harvester. So if you use it to target a level 5, it's really good for making rank 9 XCs plays. Now, before we get to the other Machina cards, we must include the single copy of Ancient Gear Box. The one card we don't want to see in our opening hand, we always want to search it with our copy of Ancient Gear Ballista Link 2 monster, or if you play the Gear Frame package, you can search it with Gear Geigen X if you really need to. If it's added from our deck to our hand without drawing it, we can search an Earth Machine with 500 attack or defense from our deck, which can be our copies of Tunneler, Anchor Drill, or Trencher. Now, moving on up, we have a single copy of Machina Fortress. For those who don't know, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard by discarding levels 8 or more. That can include that cost by discarding itself from the hand also. If it is destroyed by battle, you can destroy another card on the field. And if it's targeted, you can look at your opponent's hand, discard a card from it before resolving that effect. Now, last of the Machina monsters I play is a single copy of Citadel and 1 copy of Ruin Force. Ruin Force being the only non-Earth machine that we play. Both of these level 10 machines are incredibly frustrating to deal with. Citadel is best served from the graveyard. If an Earth machine is destroyed, you can special summon it. Plus, its quick effect allows you to destroy a monster you control and all monsters on your opponent's field with equal or less attack. Ruin Force is on another level. You can special it from the grave by banishing monsters whose levels equal 12 or more with a massive 4,600 attack. If your opponent activates an effect during the battle phase, you can negate it and cut your opponent's life points in half. Cut your life points in half as well as your opponent's. Both amazing cards for the deck. And also included in this engine is a single copy of Machina Overdrive. This card is searchable from the deck, and its effect lets you destroy a machine on the field to special summon 1 from your hand or deck, giving you easy access to your copies of Citadel, Fortress, and Metal Cruncher. Plus, you can banish it to shuffle back 3 cards from the grave or banish pile back into the deck to draw a card. Really good for managing your resources as well. And trains, we have our 1 copy of Bullet Train and 1 copy of Dare Crane. I have considered bumping Dare Crane up to 2 copies. Both of these cards can easily be summoned from the hand. You can search them off your copy of River Stormer. Bullet Train has the effect to bring a monster back from your graveyard to your hand during the end phase if it goes to the graveyard. Dare Crane is good when detached from an Xyz. You can destroy a card on the field and is easily summoned from hand when another Earth Machine is summoned to your field. And I'm actually also playing a single copy of Railroad Stampede. I'm just testing with this for now. I started messing around with this again recently, and I do love it every time I see it, but I don't think I'd play more than 1 copy unless I decide to make the deck more train focused. Basically, on summon, it can revive an Earth Machine from grave. It also has a level manipulation effect where you can target another monster that is, say, level 10. You can either make this card both become level 4, or you can make them both become level 10. I really do enjoy being able to follow up with this card. And before I get to the disruption cards, the last 2 cards in the main engine are 2 copies of Urgent Schedule. For me, this will always be the perfect ratio. You can definitely bump it up to 3 if you like. You can. I don't think it really matters much either way, but it does kickstart your plays, and fantastic going second, being able to bring 2 monsters out of the deck. And starting off the disruption cards is another Earth Machine rather, in 1 copy of Therian King Regulus. 1 copy I think is fine for this deck, though I'm back and forth on 1 to 2 copies, and I'm not playing the field spell, but you can search this off cards like River Stormer or Champion Sargus if you need. Regulus can special summon itself from the hand by equipping a machine from the grave. By sending itself to the graveyard, you can negate any card or effect by your opponent. Next, we are also playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet, and the 1 Called by the Grave. All of these cards can be swapped for anything you might prefer, but this is a good basis to start from. The cost from sending cards with Droplet can be very beneficial for getting certain cards into your graveyard. That is it for the main deck. It is 40 cards. I'm very happy with the ratios and performance. Consistent, powerful engine, incredible grind game. Might consider another copy of Trencher. I may cut Stampede. Not quite sure just yet. But now for the extra deck, I am playing our 3 copies of Infinitrack Goliath. You generally cycle through these during the main combo, linking them off your Infinitrack monsters. Plus, they can be attached to your Xyz monsters, giving them additional material and effect protecting them from being destroyed by card effects. So we then have 1 copy of Ancient Gear Ballista. Ballista, this card lets you search your copy of Ancient Gear box, which then gets you an additional search. Its other effect doesn't come up too often. Next, we have a copy of Anger Knuckle and 1 Cleafor Genius. This rounding out the Link monsters. Anger Knuckles is part of your best end board. It's quick effect to send 1 card from your hand or field to special summon level 10 from graveyard. This helps you create the resource loop with Bullet Train and Gearbox. Genius is a card I don't go into too often, but I'd rather have it if I need it. Usually I might set up with Urgent Schedule to add a level 5 or higher machine from deck to hand if 2 monsters are summoned to its link arrows. The other effect I like can negate the effects of a monster you control and 1 of your opponents, plus it is unaffected by spells, traps, and other link monsters. Now the first Xyz monster I want to talk about is River Stormer. This card is incredible. By detaching a material, you can search any Earth Machine from your deck to hand or send it to the graveyard. You can special summon it back from the grave in defense position by tributing a Machine Link monster, preferably your copies of Infinitrack Goliath. And if it does happen to destroy an opponent's monster by battle, you can attach that monster to this card. So next are 2 rank 9s in 1 copy of Earthslicer and 1 copy of Phantom Fortress. Earthslicer can detach as many materials as it wants to destroy that many cards on the field. Similar to River Storm, you contribute a Machine Link monster to special summon it back to your field, as well as attaching a monster it destroys by battle. Phantom Fortress does come up from time to time. You can detach material to either banish a card on their field, banish a random card from their hand, banish a card from their graveyard, or banish a card from the top of their deck. And of course, we have our favorite rank 10 trains in 1 copy of Super Dora and 1 copy of Gustav Max. Dora has a beefy 4,000 defense and quick effect to protect any card on the field from card effects. Gustav Max is an OTK machine as it can burn for 2,000 damage. Oh, excuse me. Which I often use to go into my 1 copy of Juggernaut Leap. 4,000 attack and defense. It can attack monsters up to the number of materials it has plus 1, and if you detach, then he goes up to 6,000 attack, but only it can attack. But at that point, you'll have likely won the game. So next, I have a single copy of Spriggan's Merrymaker and 1 copy of Champion Sargus. Think about it now, this package makes even more sense in a build that plays Gearframe and Unclass Spar, though I do make rank 4s very easy with Railroad Stampede Effect or Anchor Drill and Gearbox, but nonetheless you can use these to search your copies of King Regulus. Sargus is also nice because if any material is detached from a monster on the field, then you can destroy if any monster is detached from a card on the field, you can destroy a card on the field or return it to the hand. Also, this is great for stacking the last card in the deck. 1 copy of Double A Zeus. This card needs no introduction, helping us close out so many games. Plus, being able to properly make it in this deck, if we wished, is very powerful. Tying the knot on another deck profile. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If there's anything you like or don't like, please leave me a comment telling me what you think. Be sure to like the video if you did and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching Sacred Cards, and I will see you all in the next one.